Here we go, ready with your Winnipeg Jets Season 5 playoffs, and let's get back to the Stanley Cup Finals, guys. I know we've had a couple good runs. We did win the Cup once, but these last couple years, last year was a bit disappointing, though we did face stiff competition for sure. I think this might be the year, though. Everybody is looking so good. We've got such balance. We're 5 goals per game, 2.7 against per game, 38% on the power play, and 86% on the penalty kill, all top of the league. Not to mention guys like Scheifele, Connor, Sugihara. The whole team is looking phenomenal. I mean, and if we're just going to look at overalls and depth, Brad Lambert, despite being down at an 81, I believe because of his morale, he's got big rig, or unstoppable force, which is gonna make it easier for him to, I guess, hold on to the puck. Now, he's mostly upset with his individual performance, which I don't blame him because this line has been quite disappointing for us. But I still think that this is going to be a great two-way line. We know that this fourth line down here is fantastic. Heck, if we find any kind of struggles during the playoffs here, Lambert down at the fourth line, Bowman up to the third line. I'd even move Bowman as high as the second line over Stankoven because, Stankoven's been great for us. 94 points. He's got a ton of assists, plus 20, but I just wonder if maybe we could unlock him even more if we put a better goal scorer on this line. I mean, I know Nikolai Ehlers is fantastic for us, right? He had about 50 goals, 47 goals. He's phenomenal there, but I think the shooting of Daniel Bowman is something I'm very excited for the future. And defensively, I mean, we look absolutely fine. I mean, Pionk is a great partner. He's almost a 90 at this point. Mikey Anderson's up to an 89, Jirasek's 85, so things look great, and we got to run it back with Connor Hellebuck one more year, but we do have Carter George waiting in the wings. You guys mentioned that his poise wasn't that great, so maybe not take over the starting job, but it's up to a 79 now, and if he gets some playoff action in this year, well, maybe, just maybe, we will have our goalie of the future here. But you can see that the goals and promises, I asked him to get it's not there anymore because we're officially in the playoffs, but I asked him to get a 910 this season, and oh boy, did he. 922 and a 219, so cleared that by a long stretch. Only 26 games, to be fair to him, but 2 shutouts, 15-4-2 in that stretch. I definitely think he's ready for a larger role if we are ready to give it to him. But now our opponent in round number 1 are the Dallas Stars, 9th in goals for, 6th in goals against, 20th on the power play, and 2nd on the penalty kill. So a phenomenal team in their own right. At 5 on, well, I guess it's not really 5 on 5, but overall, I mean, they're a top 10 team on offense and defense. They're a top penalty kill. They are 0.1% behind us on the penalty kill. So, I mean, this is not going to be a cakewalk in round number 1 by any stretch. So let's take a look. Dallas, look at their lines and see what kind of team is putting on this great performance. And it is Drake Batherson. Drake Batherson, and we did have him, I believe, for 1 season. And he was fine. He was good. And then we moved him on to Dallas, where he did all right and then really found his footing in year number 2 in Dallas. They gave him an extra 3 minutes a night. He did great. And then they gave him an extra 4 minutes a night on top of that 3 minutes a night, though they took him off the power play. Or no, maybe. Their power play was 20th. So it wasn't clicking quite as well. But that is a ton of ice time increase for him. And, well, he didn't do as good points-wise. He was much better in the plus-minus for him. Lots of X factors. Rupe Hintz and Jason Robertson continue to be their 2 stars. Jonathan Drouin for them. I believe, did we move him? I don't think we traded him. I think he just signed there. He did, I guess, sign there in the offseason. And he's been all right on their second line with Wyatt Johnston and Matt Duchene at 38, still doing very, very well. Luotsarainen with John Tavares, who I believe they've signed in free agency. Yes, he was a free agent. Wow, he went back to the Islanders. Then the Islanders traded for him. So Nashville had him. Okay, I'm not going to dive into Tavares' career path, but that is crazy. And then Jesper Boqvist, Sundqvist, and Radish. I mean, this is a really good forward core. It doesn't have the star power that we do, but they've got high-quality guys on the top line. Their second line has its stud in Wyatt Johnston, as well as good complementary pieces in Drouin and Duchene. Would like to see them be a little bit better if it was my team, but to make the playoffs, I think it's totally fine. And then defensively, again, it's loaded up on the left side. Well, they just kind of let the right side do its thing. Tumba, Labushkin, and Mayfield, pretty old right now, 34, 35, 36 on the right side, but Heiskanen's still a stud. Thomas Harley continues to be a fantastic middle pairing guy for them. And then Marcus Pettersson at 32, still looking pretty good. And in goal, it's Jake Ottinger. He's an elite goaltender, and he didn't have the best couple seasons here. He's played 73 games. That means their backup only played in 9.
I guess pulling him to counts a little bit. But in the postseason, how does he do? And he's a similar story to Hellebuyck here, but where he does take a step back in the postseason. We'll see. I think we can really get at him. I think that this team is solid, and it's not one that I'm like, oh, like Chicago was, where we can just easily brush them off. But I think that this is a team that we should be beating. I believe we are the better team on paper, and I'm hoping that comes to fruition here in round number 1. But let's talk about the playoffs with Coach Scott Arniel. We want to focus on the power play. During this round, focus more on power play at the expense of having a less confident penalty kill. Coaches with better special teams attributes can help the power play without hurting the penalty kill. I think we've got really good power play coaches, and our coaches have really good attributes anyway. And the big thing I wonder what it is. I think I'd rather focus on the power play than the penalty kill, simply because Dallas's power play was only 20th, so I'm not too worried if our penalty kill isn't as good. Because if our penalty kill takes a step back from first to like say 10th in the league, their power play is still 20th. So it's not really that threatening. Although their penalty kill being second right behind ours, I'd like to load up our power play, see if we can really lean into that. And drive some offense, because defensively we're pretty solid as a team. I think that power play, we saw it that one year where we were just clicking the whole postseason. That's how we won the cup, was our power play was just unstoppable. We scored like 50% of the time on the power play. But here we go. Round 1, home ice advantage. Let's get it started. Oh, Dallas coming to town. Again, for the number 1 team in the league, this is not an easy 8 seed to face. First period, it's 1-1. We did score on the power play, Anton Lundell, but Matt Duchene scored at 5-on-5 to answer. I did see Dallas had a power play, but we killed it, so that's good to see. Second period, and there's, Morozov on the third line, and then Kyle Connor for us on the first line. Shots heavily in our favor, up by 2. And in the third period, no goals are scored, which is fine by me. And we win 3-1. Now, taking a look at the stats, really nobody had an underperformance. Anderson, McLeod, Bowman, that's the fourth line. It happens. I mean, Anderson, it's just kind of a mix. But points-wise, 2 points for Anton Lundell in that third line. He did have 1 power play goal, but he had an even strength assist, it looks like, on that Morozov goal, is my guess. Morozov, with only 7.5 minutes of ice time, still chipped in with a goal, though. I will take that. Happy to have a guy that can just pop up with goals in limited amount of ice time. That would be fantastic for us. But here we go. Game number 2. And we have the... Oh, sorry. I'm just kind of freaked out about the whole glitch. I don't know if they fixed that glitch yet or not, where you have to hit Advanced A or something like that. But anyway, here we go. Game number 2. We had a really strong defensive performance in game number 1. Dallas did too. We had a ton of shots. Ottinger played well. Hellebuyck played better, though, and I think that's going to need to be the theme here in this series. First period, we're up 1-0 with a power play goal from the corner by Rylan Sugihara. So there's the power play yet again. Second period, and it's a power play goal again. Gets us back in front, 28-16 in shots. Dumba scoring for them in tight. So interesting to see the defenseman getting down low and contributing there. But a 1-goal game in the third period. We are able to close it out. Batherson scoring on the power play for Dallas, but Pionk at even strength with 2 minutes to go. And then Sugihara nets the empty netter to give us that insurance marker late in the game. A solid 4-2 win, though. Really solid defense. Sugihara with 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. Kyle Connor with 3 assists. Pionk, Ehlers get the goals, and Mark Scheifele also picks up an assist. As far as the minuses, no minuses, because I believe both of their goals were on the power play, which kind of concerns me, that asking our coach to focus on the power play, maybe not the penalty kill, was maybe not the smartest thing. But hey, we don't take a ton of penalties, and we get a lot of power play opportunities. We saw that in the regular season. That's probably continuing here in the postseason. 30% on the power play, 88.9% on the penalty kill, I think is still fine. I know it's ranked 10th, but over the course of the postseason, if that was it, I think I'd be fine with it. But here we go. Game number 3 on the road, headed down to Dallas. And you can see we are doing really, really well. 3.5 goals for per game, 1.5 goals against per game. Totally fine with that. Not going to complain about that at all. Sub 2 goals against per game. Hellebuyck is doing his job. First period, and we are up 1-0 with Anton Lundell on the third line, killing it for us. Man, he has not complained about being on the third line, and he's performed well. You love to see things like that. Second period, and it's 5-2. We break it open with, there it is. Let's run it back with a power play, baby. 3 power play goals after Wyatt Johnston tied it for us. Connor, Sugihara, Scheifele, Duchesne cut it to a 4-2 game. Morrissey extended the lead back to 3 goals. And in the third period, Dallas puts up a fight. 2 goals. Don't love to see that. They did outshoot us, but a 5-4 win. The defense does enough. Robertson and Sundqvist, so the first and fourth line contributing for them there, but I'll take it. 5 goals, should be winning those games, even with 4 goals against. I don't like to see all the minuses. Again, 3 of our 5 goals came on the power play, or 4 of our 5 goals came on? No, it was Lundell on even strength, so 3 of our 5 goals on the power play. Scheifele with 3 points, though, got a point on all of those power play goals. It looks like same thing for Kyle Connor, got 2, so totally fine with it. I'll take the wins. I don't really mind the performance one way or another. It does fill me with, hope that Hellebuck continues to play well, right? That game was maybe the worst one he's had so far of the 3. 2.33 goals against per game is still really good, and especially if we're scoring at 4 goals a game anyway. If he's going to allow 2 or 3, if we're scoring 4 a game, totally fine with it. And I think that's kind of like our recipe for success at this point. Good power play, strong enough defense, and you get out of there with a 4-3, 4-2 kind of win, and we're out of there. But speaking of out of there, we're almost out of the first round, up 3-0 in the series. First period on the power play, Logan Stankoven against his former team, but Jason Robertson ties it just 16 seconds later, but the shot's heavily in our favor. Second period, it's 5-2. There's a goal for Sugihara, another power play goal for Stankoven, Pionk, and Connor. So the even strength goals popping up. It's not all power play for us, which is really good to see. Hintz keeps Dallas alive with a late goal there. It's 5-1, 5-2 heading into the period. 3 goals in a period to come back for is, well, a lot easier than 4. And in the third period, that comeback is nowhere to be found as Stankoven eliminates his former team with a hat trick and a power play goal to boot. 6-2 victory, and there we go, guys. Like I said, 2 goals, 3 goals against per game. If we're scoring 4-ish, we should be absolutely fine, and we were. Good to see that Gavrikov was a +2, so at even strength, again, the defensive defenseman, he's not going to contribute much points-wise, but hey, I'll take it. And then the minuses, Morrissey was a -2, probably because, he just kind of has to be, right, with all that power play time. Stankoven with a hat trick, obviously. Pionk with 2 points, and then Ehlers with a -1. But really, really solid performance from everybody. Did Brad Lambert? Brad Lambert isn't doing that hot. I just wonder if we want to move maybe Brad Lambert to the 4th line. Either way, the team as a whole is performing phenomenally as we sweep the Dallas Stars. And we're at around number 1, and it looks like over on the other half of the central bracket, Colorado's up 3-1. And we'll see here if they can get through with a gentleman's sweep, if they can advance in 5 games, and they can. So you guys know what it is. It's Winnipeg, it's Colorado, it's round number 2. Welcome to, our playoff videos. This kind of goes like this anyway. Team executed, and we've successfully advanced. Let's talk about these opponents, and we want to focus on more penalty kill at the expense of having a less confident power play. No. I think we want to work on discipline. We don't want to go into the box, especially against a team this loaded with offensive talent. I don't want to work on the penalty kill at the having a less confident power play. The power play really helps us out. So if we're taking no penalties, our power play and penalty kill are fine. We don't take penalties anyway. So maybe I'm talking myself into the penalty kill. Maybe we want to have a better penalty kill and I don't know, less aggressive. I'm going to do discipline because I don't know, we're going to be less aggressive. I don't know if what aggressiveness really translates to. I've kind of built this team with great power play. We get on the power play a lot, and we don't take a lot of penalties anyway. So you can see that their power play, though, is 3rd. Their penalty kill is 2nd at 100%, so they're perfectly fine on the penalty kill. We're at 90% on the penalty kill, but 47% on the power play. Definitely don't want to lessen the impact of our power play. We're 1st in goals for, 3rd in goals against. They're 6th in each, so 3.4, 2.6. Looks like Minnesota did push them pretty hard, despite losing in 5. View contracts. No, I want to view the lines. My bad. Let's take a look at Colorado's lines. You can see they still have Blackwood, I believe it is, was their goalie. I saw that out of the corner of my eye. But the Colorado Avalanche are still rocking Middlestat and McKinnon as the dynamic duo up top, with Arturi Lehkonen as their running mate. Frank Nazar is their second line center. He had 45 points, was a plus 26, so not really a ton of points, but played 16 minutes for the most of his career. Giveaways, takeaways, not fantastic, but he is a sniper. Only 18 goals, doesn't shoot a ton, so he's playing with Landeskog and Nyshuskin, so a solid line. This team feels very solid looking at it. O'Connor, Zari, Sprong, Olassen, Stahl, and Chibrikov. Chibrikov as well. How is he doing? He's a -3 right now in the postseason. It's probably because their penalty kill is so good, but their offense isn't really as threatening as it has been. I think their team is starting to age out, and the AI is not really backfilling it with as much talent as it might be able to. But still, I mean, these are three lines that are solid, with obviously McKinnon and Middlestat on the top that carry that first line. The rest of the team, I think, is solid. I don't think there's really much to gush over about that. I think it's a good team. I think it's quality. You can gush over their three defenders, though, of Cal McCarr, Girard, and Devon Tays. John Carlson still killing it with Perbix, and Henry Yokiharu rounding out their D-corps. So they've got 3 stars and 3 bottom pairing guys, right? These 3 guys would be perfectly fine on any top pairing. So to have one on their second pairing is pretty impressive. We have a very similar makeup of 3 guys here, but then we've got Jirasek here, as well as Gavrikov. And yeah, it's pretty similar, but we do have that benefit of Jirasek over John Carlson. So I'll take it. And then in goal, we definitely have the advantage. They have Mackenzie Blackwood, 85 overall, but 916 and 251. I mean, he is a playoff performer. His regular season is actually really, really good every single year, right? Nothing, I mean, I don't want to say it's like not spectacular, because 916, 250 is great, but, you know, mid to upper, like 908s and 911s, right? Like that kind of range is where you'd expect for him to fall. And then the 2.6 to 2.8 range for his goals against. But in the playoffs, you know, last year he was phenomenal for him as they made it all the way. And then this year has been just as good. So you can see that, you know, he's not been the greatest except for that one year where they made the run. And I guess that's kind of teaching us something here, that your goalie just kind of needs to get hot. But here we go. Game number 1. We have home ice advantage yet again. Let's go. This is a big one. This is essentially a rivalry at this point. We see them so much in the postseason. I'm so tired of seeing them and the Oilers that just something fresh here, guys. Come on. Let's get past the Colorado Avalanche. Let's not let them stand in our way like they did last year. First period, 1-1. Lundell, even strength. Again, he's carrying that third line, and Sprong ties it up for Colorado. Second period, it's 2-2. They take the lead with Landeskog, but Bowman scores on the power play for us. We love to see that. And in the third, nobody is going to score. So let's see what happens here. We're going to slow sim this overtime period. It's a big game number 1, right? Like, winner of game number 1, you're leading in the series. You can't be trailing after 2. And you feel good if you win the first one, but Colorado gets an overtime power play, and our penalty kill kills it off. We love to see that. And with 3 minutes to go in overtime, are we going to go into a second overtime? The answer is yes. 55 shots to 44 shots. Both goalies playing out of their mind right now. And who's going to let up? It is Blackwood that lets up. Morozov getting the goal for us. Finally, the 58th shot gets us our 3rd goal of the game. I mean, you can't fault either goalie in a game like this. It's really, really impressive. But Scheifele, Connor, Sugihara, yeah, I don't like to see our top guys not doing as well, but they've got Makar. He's such a good defenseman, as well as obviously Nathan McKinnon and Casey Middlestat. Those 2 guys, I mean, it's going to be tough for any first line to match up with that. I obviously think we have more talent, but, you know, they're going to perform well. Just one game, very, very small sample size. But here we go. Game number 2 after a double overtime win in game number 1. Hellebuck looking fantastic for us. Hopefully he can keep that up, because I think he can outlast Blackwood in this series. First period, 2-0. A power play goal gets us started early, and Morrissey's even strength goal gets us an insurance marker. After the second period, it's a shorty for Mikey Anderson, and Nikolai Ehlers scores before Colorado shows a sign of life with Landeskog, and then Olassen scoring for them as well. 2-goal lead heading into the third. Can we protect it? Yes, we can, as Cole Perfetti gets an extra one for us. A 3-goal victory, 5-2 win, and we take both games on home ice. Cole Perfetti with a +4. Love to see that. Ehlers, Stankoven, Gavrikov as well. +2. Danault, Lambert, Lundell, Morozov, McLeod, Bowman. That is fine. Again, these guys aren't always going to be on the right end of everything. Sometimes they'll get matched up against McKinnon. Just happens to be that kind of thing. So, a great performance, though. Hellebuck's looked great in both games. The offense found its legs there with a power play goal. And so far, looking very, very good. Game number 3, though, we head to Colorado. They have home ice advantage. Backs kind of against the wall. They lose this one. They're starting to sweat for sure. They win this one. It's definitely a series again. First period, we're up 1-0. Rylan Sugihara gets the goal at even strength to give us the lead yet again in the first period. After 2, it's Lundell with back-to-back power play goals, and we're up 3-0. We've done well on the power play. We aren't as scorching hot as we used to be on the power play. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's the fact that the first line isn't always the first line anymore because I broke up Ehlers and whatever. But power play is alive and well. That's all I'm trying to say here. And in the third period, there is no comeback. There is another power play goal, though. O'Connor does stop the shutout, but Anton Lundell completes the hat trick and a 5-1 victory with 41 shots. 20 shots only for the Colorado Avalanche. You'll love to see that. And then Hellebuck only giving up 1 on 20 shots is fantastic. That is our recipe for success. Limit the shots against, play good defense, score on the power play, take care of the puck. Bowman with 2 points despite being a -1. I think it was probably those power play goals. Lundell, though, with the hat trick. Scheifele with 2. Sugihara with 2. And Bowman with 2. Bowman is by far the most surprising producer that I've seen this season, right? We kind of expected everybody to be doing what they're doing. But the fact that Bowman is producing as much as he is really makes me think that he needs a much bigger role for next season. I mean, if he's producing on the fourth line with some power play 2 time, imagine what he could do on the second line. Maybe power play 1. Maybe he slots on power play 1. I don't know, but I'm talking about next season's lines already, or maybe I'm talking about later in this postseason. But anyway, we got game number 4 on the road. 1 foot in the Western Conference Finals, but cannot overlook this Colorado Avalanche team by any stretch. Let's go. First period. It's 2-0. Scheifele and Sugihara at even strength. There's our top line coming to play. Second period, 3-0. And there's Bowman yet again. Daniel Bowman is a stud. And in the third period, there is no comeback yet again. A power play goal for Ehlers, a second for Bowman, and a power play goal for Casey Middlestat. 5-1 victory, and goodbye Colorado, dispatched with ease in 4. And we are looking fantastic. Nobody with a minus because of Casey Middlestat's power play goal. We don't get a minus, but Connor with 3 assists. Sugihara with 3 points. Bowman with 2 goals. Morrissey with 2 assists. Scheifele with a goal. McLeod and Jirasek with points as well. So far, so good. We are looking fantastic in this postseason run. Another dominant performance. And Utah is up 3-1 on the Vancouver Canucks, and we might have our opponent with one more push of the button. I thought that was it. It is! And we do have our opponent. It is a new team. It is the Utah Hockey Club. And man, oh man, I did say they weren't an easy out. They have Clayton Keller and a strong goaltender. I believe I was talking about them versus Edmonton in round number 1, but hey, we are not worried about how they got here. Well, actually, we'll talk about how they got here in just a second. They probably beat Edmonton, and they beat Vancouver. So I'm glad we didn't face them until the Western Conference Finals and instead played Dallas. Executed our game plan. Great work, coach. Let's talk about this playoffs. Let's continue focus on staying disciplined and taking less penalties at the expense of the team being less aggressive. I think that was perfect for us last round against Colorado. I think it'll be perfect again for us this time because I do not want to weaken our power play. I think just not giving them penalty, like if our team is less aggressive, I think we can still bait the other team into taking penalties. But oh my word, the top 2 defenses go head to head here in this one. They're third in goals for at 3.9. We're first at 4.5. They're second in goals against at 2.0. We're first at 1.88. Power play percentage for them is third at 25.6. We don't want to give them power play opportunities. Obviously, we're first at 46.9. Penalty kill, they are sixth at 85.7. Our penalty kill is 89.5, which is fourth in the playoffs. So far,
So good for us. Let's take a deeper dive into this Utah Hockey Club. I'm happy to see somebody new. It's not Dallas, Colorado, Edmonton, like every year it felt like. Utah Hockey Club with a chance, I think, to get to their first ever Stanley Cup in franchise history. Dylan Guenther, Logan Cooley, and Clayton Keller. Yeah, so I didn't look at their lines, but I remember Clayton Keller had an insane regular season, 120 points, 45 goals. I think I said he was doing it by himself. He is not. They have Logan Cooley at 93 overall and Dylan Guenther at 93 overall. So they've got an absolutely goated sniper, a playmaker, and a playmaker. That is a fantastic combination. I say goated sniper. He only shoots. I mean, he doesn't shoot a ton. He's doing fine. Let's just say that. Tija Ginla up to an 89 with Nick Schmaltz still there at 33 and Matthias Michelli 85 overall. A solid. I think it's a solid second line. Their first line is insane. Second line is solid. Their third line is great with Bunting, Ritchie, and Justin Brazeau. I mean, that's 83, 83, 85. I think that's a really high-quality third line. And then the fourth line of Barron with Stenlund and Toropchenko. So Barron, how is he doing? The power forward, we got rid of him a few years back. He went to Nashville for 2 years, found his way to Utah, where he's been likely playing fourth-line minutes. And he's definitely playing fourth line minutes at 8 minutes a night, and he's looked pretty good. And their decor, well, this is where how does Brian Evans be a +2? Like, I guess players can have crazy runs, but maybe I shouldn't disrespect, but something tells me he's not quite ready to be in the NHL at a 73, 74, medium top 4. I mean, listen, he's a prospect. He looks good for the future, but the main man here is Sergachev with Sean Durzi, Kesselring and Ferraro, Lamoureux and Evans. I mean, it's a good, if unimpressive, decor. It's not one that I would be afraid of. And this is kind of what I was talking about a few episodes ago. I mentioned that I'm finding it hard to find teams with really good decors. And this is kind of standard across the league. Now, Evans, obviously, not the kind of standard that I'm talking about, but as far as like 88, 86, 84, 82, and then it's like an 80 or a 79 with an 81 or like 81, right? Like a bottom pairing guy for sure. So like this is a standard decor in the 2029 NHL franchise that I'm in. So I can't really dunk on it too hard, except for the fact that Brian Evans, I feel like maybe he shouldn't be in the NHL, but he's playing just fine. So they must know better than I do. And Vejmelka, 8 wins in 10 games played, a 198 goal against, and a 939 save percentage with 2 shutouts. He had a phenomenal regular season. Not sure if they changed their coach or what happened here, but 919, 257. Somebody get this guy a drug test because he was nowhere near 2.5 for his entire career, and it just happened to be here. All right. And in the postseason, his first time ever in the playoffs, 940 and a 198. Yeah, I think at 32, I think something's up here. But hopefully we can get to him and solve the puzzle that is the Utah Hockey Club. They are a solid team from top to bottom. They probably are well coached too, if I had to take a guess. I won't go ahead and take a look at their coach right now, but maybe we will in a bit. But we have home ice advantage. Hopefully it comes, it is a benefit to us. Let's just get it. Let's get into game number 1. I'm actually a little bit nervous about this Utah team because that first line is really, really good, and the team performance as a whole is crazy good. But hey, 21 seconds in, Scheifele solved Vejmelka. There we go. First shot of the game goes in, and after the first period, it's 2-2. Okay, so Morrissey scores, Guenther and Sergachev scoring on Hellebuck, who had a rough first period, but it is still tied after 1. After 2, it's no longer tied. 3 power play goals, a Bowman goal, and a Guenther goal for them. Keeps it a manageable game here, but a 6-3 lead for your Winnipeg Jets. We got to Vejmelka early. There's another one. It's 7-3. We're just going to simulate through the end of this game. Sugihara gets one on the power play, but 8-3. Wow, this team is dominant right now. We're facing the second best defensive team in the whole postseason, and we just put 8 up on them in game number 1. As far as pluses and minuses, Jirasek and Anderson were a -2. I'm not overly concerned. It's not like there's any recurring themes here. The third line was a -1, but Pionk +3. Morrissey with 5 points on 8 goals is phenomenal. He's doing exactly what we expect him to. Nikolai Ehlers with 3 points as well. Was even, so it was mostly on the power play, I believe those points came, but I'll take it. Points are points at this point in the season, right? If the power play's good, the power play's good. Nobody's going to ask any questions or fault us if we are names on the cup again.
And our power play was once again nuclear. Here we go. Game number 2. Does that dent Vejmelka's confidence at all? Does this team feel shell-shocked? They are David. We are Goliath. We are the team that has 4 straight President's Trophies, a Stanley Cup, couple deep runs under our belt. This is Utah's first time in this situation. Can they do it? We'll see. Is their confidence rocked, or are they a mentally resilient team? First period, it's 3-1. Okay, mentally resilient, I think I would say. Clayton Keller gets them started. They scored 3 goals in 1 minute. Wow, that is a bad minute for Hellebuck. But Scheifele, with 3 seconds left, cuts the deficit to 2, and that might be a big goal at the end of this one. Second period, it's 5-3. We did end up tying it with Perfetti and Sugihara, but we could not take the lead, as Gunther and Cooley from their first line on Carter George, by the way, who's now stepped into the postseason. Welcome, Carter. First time your name's been said, and I don't like the fact that I had to say it, but they definitely pulled Hellebuck after he gave up those 3 goals in the 1 minute stretch. So we'll see if our offense can bounce back and if Carter George can make some timely saves for us here down the stretch in the third period. Utah up 5-3, gets a power play, and it's a long power play at that, but Kyle Connor scores shorthanded to cut the deficit to 1. And with 10 minutes to go here in the third period, it is a 1-goal game on home ice. Can we do something with 5 minutes to go? 3 minutes left. 2 minutes, we get a power play, and it's Sugihara, and we have tied it. It is 5-5 in game number 2. We have completed the wow, no. We have tied it. We have come back. We have not completed the comeback. Can we get 1 more goal in this game? Overtime awaits us. Here we go. First 5 minutes of overtime, and Utah has a power play. We are able to kill that one off. And there it is. It is Cole Perfetti. And despite Utah coming out with all the firepower they could imagine, 50 shots, 3 goals in 1 minute in the first period, we are resilient. We are battle-tested. I want to talk about mentally resilient for Utah. We are a mentally resilient team. Gone are the days of the same old Winnipeg Jets. We are here to stay. Anderson, Bowman, yikes, had 5 shots in 13 minutes. Is crazy. A lot of minuses and a lot of pluses. So it seems like Bowman, Anderson, Deneau, Jirasek, McLeod, the fourth line middle pairing, I guess, or kind of got stuck. They probably got stuck out there for that 1 minute that was awful, right? Maybe switched it up after 2 goals against or something. But wow, what a comeback. I mean, fantastic performance. That goal was clutch from Mark Scheifele. That goal with 3 seconds left in the first period. You could easily mail it in and say, you know what? It's 3-0. Let's get to the locker room, reset mentally. No, we went out and scored with 3 seconds left and ended up winning in overtime. Huge goals. The little things, guys. It's the little things that make champions. It's the Western Conference Finals. I got to pump my brakes here. All right, we got a road date with Utah yet again. Here we go. Game 3 on the road. Utah, how are they going to do? How mentally resilient is this Utah hockey club? First period, it's, oh my goodness. Ty Smith, Philippe Deneau, Anton Lundell, Brad Lambert, and then our top 6 decided to contribute. But that, guys, that is the bottom 6 and the bottom pairing with 4 goals in the first. We have as many goals as they have shots. Is that it? Is this Utah team, is that it for them? Was that their best punch? Did we take their best punch? We'll see. It's a long game. 2 more periods. Let's see how it goes. After 2, they have 7 shots, guys. 7 shots through 2 periods to our 35 and 5 goals. And I'm going to quick sim, and there it is with 11 seconds left. Schmaltz stops the shutout effort, but they had 16 shots. We had 8 goals. Ryan McLeod, Mark Scheifele with the second, and Logan Stankoven. Wow. Guys, we didn't score on the power play. Our power play did not score, so we're going to see lots of pluses here. The fact it was Jirasek, Morozov, and Lambert, I think, were out there for the 1 goal against. Maybe, yeah, it was a little bit of a combination, but either way, a phenomenal performance from Pionk, Sugihara, the whole team. I can't really shout anybody out enough for that performance. 8-1 on the road. Hellebuck with a phenomenal performance. He's at .926. 209 goal against average. I don't want to talk too soon, but that might have been Utah's best punch. They scored 3 goals in the first period of game number 2. They had a 2-goal lead going into the third. We clawed our way back, won it early in overtime, and ever since then, Vejmelka's goal against average is a 3.00. 3.00. He was at like 1.98. Their entire team now, goal against per game, is 3.23. So we have gotten to this team in a big, big way. But one game stands between us and the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's go win it. Let's get to the Stanley Cup for the second time in this series. First period, 1-0 Utah. They still got fight left in them. I love it. I love it. They are not backing down from the challenge. Facing elimination, game 4. Let's see what they got. Second period. Oh my goodness, they got a lot. Gunther with 2. Richie with a third in the period. Makes it 4-0 before we even decide to wake up. And I'm talking like this is an easy whatever. We'll move on. We need to focus up here. I'm in La La Land, and it seems like the players are too. These 2 goals are big. Morozov and Morrissey stem the tide for us. And again, we've done it before. Can we? Oh, God. Carter George is in there now. Welcome back, Carter. He lets in a second goal. It's 7-2. All right. I think, Kyle Connor scores right away, though. 7-3. It's a 4-goal game. We're going to need to get it hot in a hurry. Power play goal from Rylan Sugihara with 10 minutes to go. It's a 3-goal game. Is there something incredible coming with 5 minutes to go? I don't know if it's going to happen. Logan Cooley gets another one. It's 8-4. 9-4, Callum Ritchie. Wow, Utah unloads the aggression on us. I think we got a little complacent, guys. I did too. And that stops our winning streak. I was looking at it. I know you guys were probably aware of it at the same time, but we had won 11 games straight in the postseason. 11-1 isn't too bad, but Pionk to know. I mean, listen, there's nobody that had a good game. Shifley, Sugihara, Connor, and Smith had the best of the worst game for us there. But 9 goals against, that is brutally bad. We just got to shake that one off. We've seen that before. Hellebuck still having a great season. We lost a little bit of locker room chemistry. Our goals against per game is no longer number 1 in the postseason. I don't know whose is anymore, but you know what? It is what it is. Here we go. Game 5, back on home ice. We just got to win one. We just got to win one. Let's win this next one and put Utah to bed. I appreciate the effort, Utah, but it's our time. Let's go. First period, it's 1-1. Schmaltz scoring on a power play. McLeod getting one from the 4th line for us. Second period, it's 4-2. There we go. A huge, huge second period for us. Sugihara, Gavrikov, Connor getting us to 4, all from the same spot. And then Clayton Keller gets Utah within 2. We've seen a 2-goal lead vanish in the third period already in this series. Let's not let it be again. Let's not let it happen again. No. Let's not let it happen again. And Kesselring ties the game. It's 4-4. Utah now with another power play. And it is tied. 6.5, 5.5, 4.5 to go. What? Come on, guys. Let's finish this thing right here and right now on home ice. So, third period comeback for Utah. Overtime awaits. Let's go. Come on, boys. And there it is. Sugihara puts the dream to bed. Good night, kids. Winnipeg advances. I got to give credit to Utah. They took a lot of punches and they punched back. They just, a little bit inexperienced. First time here, not the best, not the most battle tested, I should say. And I think that I always think battle tested is a huge thing at IRL. I don't, obviously in game, it doesn't matter as much, but I think knowing that my team has been here, has seen these moments, has come back from critical situations, fills me with confidence even in game, but IRL, I think it's huge, right? And over in the East, we got a chance to see the Stanley Cup, our Stanley Cup opponent, and there it is. It is Philadelphia, and Scott Arniel is going to be pumped because we made the Stanley Cup Finals. His influence XP increased, his management morale increased. Let's go. Let's compete for the overall prize. The number one thing that we're all here for, and Ilya Sorokin, and there is the number 1 defensive team in the postseason. It is the Philadelphia Flyers. They are still playing 2.5 goals against per game, really close to our 2.8. We're third, right? 4th in goals for at 3.8. We're at 1st and 5.15, so we are dynamic on offense. They are 10th on the power play, which is big. Remember that. 15.2% to our 43.8%. Obviously, we're first. But the penalty kills are pretty even. 84.0 to 83.9, fifth and sixth, right? So both teams have comparable penalty kills, but the power play quite different. But Scott Arniel wants to talk because, yes, we did it. We did the game plan thing. In the playoffs, let's talk about 5-on-5 defense, because we're facing the number one defensive team. And during the playoff rounds, focus more on shutting down the other team in the defensive zone, potentially at the expense of offensive opportunities. Coaches with a defensive coaching style will help the team play better defense without giving up as much offensively. Yes, our Scott Arniel is a defensive coaching style. He's going to help the team play better defense without giving up as much on offense. So there we go. Great plan. That's right in my wheelhouse. Defense wins championships. And there we go. So we're going to go for the defense, the 5-on-5 defense yet again. Hopefully, play good 5-on-5 defense, explode on the power play. And I mean, that's Winnipeg Jets hockey. I keep saying it, but that's how we won the cup in the past. Let's do it again here. But first, let's preview the Philadelphia Flyers, see what they're throwing at us here. And just see what's going to stop us, what's between us and our second Stanley Cup trophy. They've got Konechny, Forster, and Michkov, so they do have a little bit of a weakness here at first line center. The defensive side of things aren't that great, but Konechny and Michkov are fantastic players. I mean, this top line is great anyway. It doesn't matter. The second line with Miroshnichenko, Steele, and Tuomala, I think is a good, if yet unimpressive, second line. The third line, I think, is quality with Farabee, Couturier, and Matthew Joseph. I think that's a solid third line. And the fourth line, I actually think, is really, really good. 83, 81, and 82. Ty Dellandrea, we did, I think, ship him off here, and he's been himself. We know what to expect from him at this point. But a weak center core, strong wingers. It's a solid team. Surprised we're seeing it here. They have a really, really good top pairing defensively, though. Sanheim and Drysdale. Drysdale is a fantastic elite offensive defenseman. He's got plus 14. He's got 13 points. And then Travis Sanheim plus 13 as well with 15 points. So that is a great 1-2 punch. They do have Matthew Schaefer. Took him in fourth overall in the first year. At 21, 81, medium elite. You would have liked to see him grow a little bit better, but I mean, he's performing just fine, plus 9. And then they've got Emile Andre, offensive defenseman beside him with 11 points plus 8. And then they have Alexander Romanov. So, if you move Romanov with Schaefer, and they probably want to give Schaefer the extra ice time, I think this is a really solid decor with Andrew Peeke then as his partner. 5 goals from Romanov. Interesting to see that. And then in goal, Ilya Sorokin, 86 overall, does have a boatload of X factors though, so that's what's keeping him so elite right now, is the fact that he's 86, but all his gold X factor and a bunch of silvers as well. So 33 years old, playing well, 929, 246. That's really good. Has really turned it up here in the postseason. Has not really seen much success since leaving. Has not seen much success in this entire save. His entire career is basically, after 22-23, he's really not been a very, very elite goaltender. In the playoffs, horrible time. Well, in one game, I guess he didn't do very well, but when he does, he hasn't made the playoffs ever since. Well, actually, that's IRL. So this is the only time he's made the playoffs in this franchise mode, and well, he's turned it up at the right time. Still, I think this team the talent is deficient compared to even Utah, who I thought was, obviously their first line was insane. I thought that Colorado and Dallas had better roster construction, but these teams have made it here. They've won the games, and that's what matters. So here we go. Game 1 on home ice, Philadelphia, Winnipeg. That's a weird Stanley Cup final matchup. Am I wrong? Like Winnipeg, Philly, it would just be such. I don't know. Maybe it's the current state of Philly that makes me think Philly, Winnipeg would be a weird Stanley Cup final, but it doesn't matter because we're in 2029 and we're going for our second. So let's get it done here. First period, 2-0 start. Lindell and Bowman. There we go. The bottom 6 stepping up as we needed them to. 2-0 after 1. After 2, it's 4-0 with a Perfetti power play goal and a Scheifele goal to boot. And in the third period, we score another 2 with Michkov getting 1. So a 6-1 final in game number 1. Warning, shots fired. 6 goals in the first game and only 1 allowed. Pionk, Morrissey, nobody was a minus. They were the best 2 pluses. Perfetti, Stankoven, Scheifele, Bowman, all with multi-point efforts. A lot of points spread throughout the roster too, and that is what we love to see. But, I mean, to score 6 goals, a couple on the power play, I think, and only allow one, that's what we want to do. So here we go. Game number 2. Will it follow a similar script to game number 1? Will Philadelphia be able to crack the code? First period sees us down 2-0, and they may have. Michkov scores 5 minutes in. Tuomala scoring for them on the power play. Don't love to see them scoring on the power play. It's going to give a team like this extra life, extra insurance goals, which is not what we can afford to do. Second period sees us pull one back, but Schaefer and Dellandrea, two guys that kind of slated, extend their lead to 3. So we cut it to 1. They extended it to 3, and now we head into the third period of game number 2, down by 3, but Scheifele in the first 5 minutes gets us down, back down by 2. Excuse me. We need to cut it to 1 here sooner rather than later. I don't want to leave things too late. With 6.5, 5 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, 1 minute to go. I don't think we're finding 2. Konechny finds the empty net. And it's a 5-2 loss, a big bounce back for Philadelphia. After only getting 1 goal scored, Lambert -3. I think Lambert has been quite atrocious. He worries me. He needs a contract, so we'll see. I mean, obviously, we've played well. I think we're, 13-2 in the postseason, but I think I might make a small line change because Brad Lambert is just not, he's not doing it for us right now, right? Like, he is a -6. Lundell's a plus, and Morozov's only a -2. So I'm going to move Brad Lambert down. We're going to Bowman. He shoots left, so we'll put him on the left wing. We'll put Lundell at center. Morozov will be right wing, and then we'll have Lambert with Deneau and McLeod on the fourth line there. So I think that'll be the right move for us because Lambert just trying to minimize his ice time because I hope he bounces back because, obviously with the Toledo Underdogs, he was phenomenal for us and we got a little bit of attachment to him there. He's also a true Winnipeg Jet, but right now we're in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's 1-1. It's a best of 5. We can't afford to be playing favorites or anything like that. But we head to the road to Philadelphia to see if we can bounce back after not a great game there. First period, and we're up 2-1. Stankoven gets us started. Drysdale scores, and McLeod scores. So, hey, maybe Lambert got an assist on that goal there, but a 2-1 lead after 1. Second period, and it's 4-1. Rylan Sugihara and Ty Smith get the goals here. So, Sugihara, love to see him popping up with a goal. And we have a 3-goal lead heading into the third period. And, honestly, if this was just a period where nobody scored, I think I would be fine with that. Michkov does cut the deficit to 2, and, we get a power play. Can we just put this game to bed, please? We get a long power play. Come on, guys. And Forster scores to cut the lead to 1, and now I'm a little nervous. And Dellandrea has tied the game. We blew a 3-goal lead and a 2-goal lead with less than 5 to go. It's a tight one here. We're going into overtime, 4-4. We've been good in overtime. We get a power play. We need to score. We haven't been able to score on the power play in this one much at all. Halfway through overtime number 1, it remains tied. Nobody has won the game yet for their team with 5 minutes to go. Are we going to be looking at a second overtime? We are not, because Rylan Sugihara gets us a crucial goal there. 5-4 victory in overtime. And who was the minus? Morrissey, Lundell, Pionk, Bowman, Morozov. Yikes, don't like to see our third line getting bodied like that. Maybe it wasn't Lambert. Maybe he's just, I don't know. Either way, we won it. Hellebuck's disappointing of his performance. Hellebuck, this is literally not the time for you to start dropping the ball. Like, we are up 2-1 in the series. Just keep it together, my dude. 909 save percentage, 256 goal against average isn't fantastic. We're seeing our goals against per game creep up ever so slightly. And we're not really getting to Philadelphia as much as I would have liked. Now, okay, we scored 6-1, we lost 4-2 or something like that, 5-2. And then, so we've scored like 6 and 5 goals in this series in 2 of the 3 games. So currently okay with that, but would just like to see the team as a whole perform a little bit better. Stanley Cup final, though, up 2-1. That's really all that matters. Game number 4 on the road, a big one. This is huge. This turns the tide of the entire series, whoever wins it. First period, nobody scoring. A little bit nervy, a little bit tight on both sides right now. Second period, and there we go. Mark Scheifele gets us the first goal of the game. 1-0 after 2, a tight defensive game, and Morozov scores to give us the insurance marker we so desperately need there. And it's nice to see our guys wake up in the third. It's 3-0 at this point in the first 5 minutes. Huge insurance markers there from Morozov and Scheifele. 5-on-3 power play opportunity. Philly's penalty kill has been stifling. But will it matter in this one? It will not. 3-0 victory. But what I am concerned about is the underperformance here of the power play so far in this series. But I'll take it. It's a shutout. It's a 3-0 win. It's the complete team performance I asked for. It's really high quality defense with just enough offensive at 5-on-5. That I'm not going to complain about it. Everybody looked good in that game. Nobody was all that bad because they didn't score a goal. And right now, we are on the doorstep. We are up 3-1 in this series. We have retaken the lead in goals against per game as a team. The power play has really receded from 50% down to 36%. So, we'd like to see a good power play performance. Close it out here on home ice. That would be awesome. And Hellebuck, he held it together. He did exactly what I asked him to. But here we go. Game number 5 on home ice. Can we get it done and just seal the deal here? Win the Stanley Cup. First period. 1-1. Sanheim starts for them, but Smith scores for us. He is chipped in with timely goals for sure in this series. But 2 defensemen get the goals in this one. Second period, it is 2-1 with Lundell on the power play. Lundell, who's been the good soldier, took the demotion to the third line just fine, hasn't complained, has put up phenomenal performances. Gets us the lead in this one. We can't convert on the carryover power play. 2-1 still, though, in this one. Halfway through, we get another power play opportunity, but Couturier ties it. Sean Couturier ties the game. We get a power play, and it's Rylan Sugihara with 5 minutes to go. Philly with a power play and a chance to tie it. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. 2.5 to go. 2 minutes left. 90 seconds left in the game. 54. 37. 30. All right, we're jumping in. We're going to watch the final. We're going to watch the end of it here, guys. We are going to hopefully close this out in the last 30. And we get an offensive zone draw as we jump into it here, guys. Losing the draw. I mean, we are still on the power play. They find Kunin. They're going to pull the goalie. They're shorthanded, so it's a 5-on-5. Pionk, Bowman's there. Bowman clears it up to Perfetti, up to Pionk. God, we are so slow. That is the one thing. And in the empty net goes Pionk. That's not his third goal of the game. No, I don't think so. It's not, but that is the insurance marker. That is that. It is curtains. His third goal of the postseason. The simple, humble celebration, despite being on the doorstep of his second. The toe drag and between the legs were completely unnecessary, but I appreciate him flexing. So as I say, he's being humble with the celebration. The toe drag was that was a little bit of showboating. And there we go. Philly's coach, Philly's team, their bench looks dejected, and they know that their dream is over, that they were this close. They made it here, and they could not get past the Winnipeg Jets. Look at that, guys. Rylan Sugihara, did I see that right? Does he have 34 points this postseason? And Scheifele wins the faceoff. Pionk to Morrissey, over to Scheifele. Scheifele keeps it, holds it along the boards there. The puck goes back out of the zone, but away goes Michkov with wheels. He gets in on the breakaway, doesn't do anything with it. Konechny shoots, Hellebuck saves, freezes, and 1.8 seconds left, and we get to lift the Stanley Cup. Whew, all right, here we go. Here we go. 1.8 seconds left. Drop the puck. Get it over with. 1-0, and that is all she wrote. Your Winnipeg Jets have won the Stanley Cup for the second time in 5 years, and the second time in 3 years, I want to say. We won it 2 years ago, got eliminated last year, looked for balance, found our balance, and found our way back to the top of the mountain. And there we go. Who's that? Who's 64? Morozov, interesting. And there is Rylan Sugihara. He's got the flow. 34 points, 17 goals, 17 assists, plus 19.
And there he is, boys, the future of your Winnipeg Jets. Maybe a future captain for us. A guy that does it all, dishes the puck, and scores it. He is a great, great piece, and I am very happy that we traded for him. And there is the ultimate prize. We are going to lift the Stanley Cup yet again. Captain Mark Scheifele, who's seen his role slightly diminished, but has not complained a bit. He is no longer the #1 alpha star on the team. That now belongs to Sugihara, but he still gets to lift the cup first on home ice in front of the home fans. And I believe they still have the whiteout going. I think it looks mostly like a whiteout. I'm not sure. But I think the next guy we're going to have lift the cup I think the guys that I'm looking at, well, Hellebuyck, Connor, and probably Sugihara. Those are the 3 guys, but we'll hand it to Kyle Connor next. Nikolai Ehlers not on the list, surprisingly enough. But there we go, another longtime Winnipeg Jet, Kyle Connor, the thumbnail star, lifts the cup second for us. He has to, right? And then we have to give it to Connor Hellebuyck, who stepped up in a big way again this postseason, right? Like, absolutely, had some performances that concern me down the stretch, but as a whole, he stepped back up. We challenged him. We talked about trading him away. We gave him the postseason to perform, and he did it. Is this his last game, his last action in a Winnipeg Jet jersey? I don't know. You guys let me know. Is it time to turn to Carter George and just give him the reins, even if it means we don't make a deep playoff run next year? Is it the best thing for the future? And finally, last but not least, we're going to give it to Rylan Sugihara, I think. Bowman will have to check out his performance, but, I mean, the Conn Smythe winner, this kid, has come to the Jets, come into the league and experienced nothing but success immediately. I believe this is Sugihara's second cup for us, and he's been in the NHL for, I think, 3 or 4 seasons, so yeah, he's got a decorated future ahead of him here, guys. And 94 with the flow, the redhead, oh man, he's got the aura, guys. That is exactly the guy you want to see lifting the cup and building your team around. Look at that. And there we go, there they are, all the Winnipeg Jets from top to bottom of the lineup, winning the Stanley Cup for the second time here. And here we go. We get to see their names etched onto the Stanley Cup. A very, very memorable tradition here. Let's see it. Let's read off all those names. I'm taking a deep breath because I'm going to have to rattle them off in a hurry here. Here we go. It's going to start with Captain Mark Scheifele. I know that. But there they are. Mark Scheifele, the captain. Mikey Anderson, Daniel Bowman, Kyle Connor, Philippe Deneau, Nikolai Ehlers, Vladislav Gavrikov, Carter George, Connor Hellebuyck, David Jirasek, Brad Lambert, Anton Lindell, Ryan McLeod, Pavel Morozov, Josh Morrissey, Cole Perfetti, Isaac Phillips, Neil Pionk, Ty Smith, Logan Stankoven, and Rylan Sugihara. And I got it in there before they all disappeared, so I'm pretty pumped about that one. But a really, really tight game, all things considered. They out-hit us. We won the face-off battle. They just took too many penalties, and our power play came alive. 3 for 6 on the power play, and I think one of those was the empty netter, but that's okay. 50% on the power play is about what we expect now from this team in the postseason. And there we have it. The morale should be going up through the roof. Mark Scheifele wants to talk. He won the Hart Trophy like I challenged him to. So look at that. He may not be the #1 on the team anymore, in my opinion, but he is still the #1 across the league. The Hart Trophy, the most valuable player in the league, gets the +3 offensive awareness, potential grade increase, and increases his management morale. Do we have anybody else that maybe has won a trophy that wants to talk? Unfortunately not. I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen, but 129 points. He ends up winning the Hart Trophy, and I think he might have been tied for the Art. No, he was not tied for the Art Ross, I don't believe. If we look at the entire... Oh, no, he did win the Art Ross as well. So, hey, I'm talking about Rylan Sugihara like he surpassed Scheifele. He hasn't, but... Oh my word, is he close. We may have a guy here that might get into the high 90s. I mean, he's still only 87 passing, which is crazy to think. But he's just so good. Let's take a look at how everybody did in this postseason run here. And there it is. Sugihara with 34 points in 18 games. He stepped up when it mattered. 81 poise, doesn't matter. 34 points. 18 games. Scheifele with 29, Kyle Connor with 24, Perfetti on that second line. Really happy that he just kind of sucked it up for us and just accepted his role on the second line. 21 points, 18 games played. Morrissey with 17, basically a point per game there. Stankoven
looking great. Lundell, -4 there. So that third line did have some weakness defensively, but I mean, you want to talk about a guy that is just accepted the role, and I don't want to really call it a demotion, but he does take a step back going to the third line, doesn't complain about it, has a phenomenal regular season where he puts up, what was that? How many points did he have? 77 points from the third line, 36 on the power play, so the power play was clicking for him. Daniel Bowman, surprise rookie for us, like, hello, welcome to the NHL, your first year. You have 15 points in 18 games played in the postseason, 61 shots as well, and then in the regular season he had 52 points from the fourth line. I mean, most of this was all, this was all bottom 6 minutes. He's up to an 84 now. I think he's going to continue to grow. Pionk, Ehlers, maybe. With 13 points in 18 games, certainly no slouch by any stretch. But he is a guy that is making $11 million for 3 more years as a 33-year-old. Could he be on the move with Hellebuck, and all of a sudden we clear up almost $20 million in cap space? Morozov brought him in for balance and depth, and he provided that. Ryan McLeod, same thing there. Ty Smith with goals in the Stanley Cup final. I mean, huge goals late in the playoffs. 6 points, 10 plus 10 as well. And then Brad Lambert, 6 points, -5. You don't know what to do with a guy like Lambert. Not the showing you wanted to see from a guy who's in a contract year, but we'll see. Gavrikov, Mikey Anderson, Philippe Deneau, Jirasek, again, some minuses, but, they just didn't get any power play time. Gavrikov, phenomenal for us, though. It seemed like he was a big addition to the defensive core. And then you take a look at the goaltending. Connor Hellebuck, 917, 238. The 917 is going to blow anybody away, but it was a high-quality performance for him. 16 wins, 2 losses. Carter George does get a win here in the postseason. Because I believe we came back from behind and won that game where I believe Hellebuck allowed 3 in just 1 minute there. So really high quality performance from him. It's what we needed him to do, right? You take a look at his history in the playoffs. Not the best. 917, and then even better this year, 238. So when he's on, we're on. When he's off, we're off. So when Hellebuck does well, we win the cup. So just know that. But here we go. I just want to take a quick look at Rylan Sugihara. Has been playing for Winnipeg for 2 years. So this is his first Stanley Cup under his belt, and he won the Calder last year, wins the Stanley Cup this year. Already a pretty decorated player for us. But guys, that is not the end of this one. Scott Arniel wants to talk. What do you want? Yes, thank you, Coach. Of course, you're welcome. I'm glad you coached the team in such a fine manner. And he's turned out to be an insane coach for us. Like, let's just look at the coaching staff. I mean, he's crazy. A+ defenseman. He is a defensive style coach. He's on an expiring deal, but I mean, A+. The guy's won 2 cups for us. I think he's earned an extension, right? Don't you? So that though, guys, another year, another Stanley Cup victory. Let's see if we can run it back next year. Some decisions with Hellebuck and Ehlers, maybe, right? Maybe Ehlers' spot makes way for Daniel Bowman. We could even trade Pionk, right? A lot of turnover there. Maybe we trade a guy like Mikey Anderson and then move Pionk down. But I think I like the contract of Mikey Anderson a little bit too much to move on from him, right? Taking a look here, I mean, an extra year, $4 million, same overall, 3 years younger. I think maybe Pionk goes. I think maybe Hellebuck goes. And I think maybe Ehlers goes. I think those are the 3 that I'm looking at because we need a spot for DuPont. I'd like to move Bowman up. And we'll see about Carter George and Hellebuck if we run it back 1 more year as a duo. Take a look, goalies here. I mean, Carter George, he's signed for 1.2 for 3 years. Hellebuck is going to have 2 more years left on this deal. Do we have 1 more year where Carter George isn't the starter? Maybe let him grow until he's like an 86. He's signed under contract. He's not complaining. I'm just thinking I want to challenge him to win the Vezina, and I think he might be able to for us with how he performed in the regular season last year. But, a 36-year-old Connor Hellebuck, how long until he starts to decline? I mean, we do have some age on the roster, right? We have 36-year-old Mark Scheifele. I mean, I can't get rid of Mark Scheifele. Not this year. Philippe Deneau, obviously, he's the depth guy. But Morrissey, 34, making 13.6. For another 3 years, I think he's fine. He can show Landon DuPont the ropes. Nikolai Ehlers, 33. Pionk, 33. That's why I'm kind of looking at these guys. They've got life in them for sure. But at $11 million and $8 million, right, Morrissey's worth it. Scheifele's at an absolute bargain. just wonder about those guys. Kyle Connor only 32, so I think his deal is absolutely fine as well. 30 for Anderson. I think the team still looks perfectly fine, perfectly healthy, but we may have to make some tough decisions. So I might poke around with Ehlers, Pionk, and Hellebuck's. I mean, Hellebuck's what, 36 did I say? I definitely think it might be time. I definitely think it's time to move on from Connor Hellebuck. I don't know how long he's going to hang on to this. He could be 37, 38, still at a 93. I think he'll be fine, but that's at least my thoughts, guys. We won the cup. A lot to do still in the offseason. It feels like I always have a lot to do in the offseason, but I have fun with it. But guys, that's all the time I have for this one. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.